Man, I was told it's not always about them, hella, somachas and whatnot. I learned it's also about us, them. I guess it's always just the same, eh? But in most cases, yeah. But there's one thing that never changes on this show, because there's always something about these people.
Everywhere you turn it. Everywhere you turn it. You know you find it. Everywhere you turn it. Everywhere you turn it. You know you find it. Everywhere you turn it.
First up, we're looking at her, and I said she. So we're gonna have she. I think it's a cool nickname for them, eh? I'll call them she from now on. And if you see them on the street, say she. She squared. That's the hint that I'll give to you. Stick around and we'll talk to these two ladies. It's been a while. Where have you guys been? Lucy
Well, you know what happened? COVID happened, and then our flight got stuck in Turkey. Yeah. Yeah. So Lucy Squared SW12 got stuck in Turkey with most of everybody that used to listen to Lucy Squared on national radio. So, but I think, are we back?
We are back.
Yeah.
We are definitely
You're
back.
literally back here.
Right.
Back with a bang, darling.
You had to bring that in, hey?
Yeah. He was part of it, hey?
Yeah, he was. He said we must call it. In fact, he said I think he said we should call it Lucy C.
Lucy C.
And then there was Lucy Love something, and then eventually we decided, I think, Lucy Squared, and then you're like, why don't you just do it Lucy Squared? And then I guess CJ, yes, you
we give you credit. You were there. We give you credit.
It was a long journey.
Well, should I start?
Yeah.
Or should you start? Because
you were first, so you start.
We were on air.
So this is what happened. The both of us had actually just resigned from our previous jobs, and then we decided. Both Lucy and I had like a huge following from obviously Fresh FM and Radio Energy, and then I Omulunga. So we thought, okay, how about we just maybe come together and start something out of the ordinary, something that Namibia has never seen. So we got together, we put our heads together, our thoughts together, and Lucy Squared was born. We never thought of before, but we realized that, come on, we just resigned, we're at home, we're not really doing much.
As a matter of fact, we didn't really resign then. I mean, we tried to do the job while we're still working. Yeah. And then when we got the job, that's when we did it. We're not at home.
Oh, we were not at home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We just suffered. We just suffered the first 6 months though, so it might have felt like we're at home.
The first 6 months were really, really, really tough.
Yeah.
We went for like a whole 6 months without a salary, but we kept it going. Just imagine like on the streets, and we loved heels. We're still in our prime,
and
so
you still got your heels on.
Of course, darling.
Your prime. Ladies, look at y'all.
Yo, you and I were together on this journey, weren't we, hey? Fresh FM 2007, I still remember those auditions were hosted in August. Lucy had already started. So she was working for Mulunga. So I remember she was also one of the people that actually helped us to get training on how to actually operate the mixers when we started it. When we started
she
it
didn't
Fresh.
like me.
No, I didn't like her at all. That was when I used to listen to her on radio, because I felt like she was very rude. like you call, like I hear people call and then she'd answer people so bad, and I was like,
no, that's
why
because
is she like that?
That was because people called with their radios on, and I would usually emphasize that, guys, please switch your radio off.
I feel like I'm listening to Lucy Squared right now.
So, homegirl didn't like me
At all.
But guess what?
We're here now.
Here you are.
We're here now. Yeah. So then think I was at Fresh FM for about 8 years or 7 to be exact, I'm not too sure. And then I left. When I left Fresh FM, actually, I had no plan.
Yeah.
That was in November 2011. I had no plan at all. I was just tired. And I was just like, it's 8 years of my life. What am I doing? Can I not get something else? So I thought, December is coming up. Let me go back home to the village and maybe rethink, re-strategize, and see where I can go after that. I had a little business that I was doing in the north, so I went to concentrate on that the whole of December, which was going pretty well. So somewhere in January, I got a call from Radio Energy, and then they wanted me to go host a show. So then I left the north, and then I went to Energy. So whilst I was at Energy, she was still at Omulunga. That was 2012. So somewhere there, and then I gave her a call, and I'm like, you know what? Let's do a business, let's start. And that's where now that whole story where she told came together, and that's how Lucy Squared was born, and that's why we're here today.
I actually remembered I had just returned from China, and I was actually fired.
From Omulunga.
I was fired.
As we were fired every other day.
Every other day you were fired.
And then you went
so,
back again,
and then
back,
because we had an idea of starting our own business, I was like, you know what, it's okay. I quit anyways. Radio back then was special, something special. I remember when I was still in school, I would get inspired by, presenters being on air. What I would usually do is I would, call in different radio stations, and then I'll record myself on air.
While you're on air?
I would actually, I'll actually ask my cousin. I think they will testify this. I would pretend. Okay, no.
I've never heard someone say that before.
Right?
It's killer, man. Okay, cool.
So I'd call in, and then and then somebody would record me, and then after that I'll pretend like, okay, I'm speaking like this specific person. So, and then guess what? I actually decided to create my own internship. I didn't actually have real internship from school.
Yeah.
I went to the different radio stations. I think I remember going to Radio Energy. I found the late BK. He was a bit mean to me, but may his soul rest in peace. But at least Paulo gave me the opportunity to come and just, see how they do their thing.
Yeah.
And then I went to Omulunga, found Simon there. I told him I can't even remember what I told him, but I remember I told him I had a project from school.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started. And there was really no project. It was just something I created myself.
Yeah.
So
I grew up in the village like most of my life. So we had this Omega radios. I don't know how many you can remember. Yes, the ones. Yes, with the antenna was the little holes, the one that played cassettes. Yes. So now whenever we're in the Mahangu field, playing, we listen to the radio. So now one time I remember, I think it was around Christmas time. And in the north, Christmas time is that when you have bread with jam, you eat sweets in the morning, you get to drink coffee. So then
we're listening, rice.
Right? And salad also on Christmas. Oh, that only happens once a year. So we're there with my mom. My late mom. So then I asked my mom, I'm like, so if the people in radio came out and they can just join us in the feast that we're having a feast, so can you not invite them to just come out of the radio? And then I'm like, but if they came out of the radio, they'll probably die because they are so small and they are short, and maybe they don't even breathe the same air. I'm serious. That's how it was. So, and that's how I remember radio. So I always wanted to go inside to see how they lived and how they did everything on radio. So I guess I was just inquisitive about radio. That's serious.
And she went inside. Hey?
Yeah, I went inside. I'm in the radio now.
There's a little girl out there thinking, Lucy must come.
Yeah, you see. So that's how I went. That's. I was just really inquisitive about radio, and that's why I am where I am today. Whew. So many times. Not even a long time ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We had a girl. Her name is Aleta. I'd make reference to her because I think when we even started Lucy Squared, there was a WhatsApp group that was created. Yeah. We don't know how, but we just saw ourselves on the Lucy Squared La Familia group. That's what they called it. But she used to listen to Lucy. She was a fan of Lucy from Omulunga Radio. So when we then came to National NBC, she followed us, and that's when now she also discovered Lucy K. Somebody wanted to bring her to us, and she was like, no, but I can't come. So now because she was shy, so then because she couldn't come, she decided, okay, fine, let me create a WhatsApp group, add everybody that I know that listens to Lucy
actually
Squared.
This is what happened. She got hold of my number, but apparently I wasn't responding.
Yeah.
So she eventually got hold of me.
See how I told you Lucy was Lucy was rude. Do you see what she
I
does?
was rude. I was just being careful.
Yeah.
You know, you never know. I had a stalker for like a whole year. This guy almost got me fired. So you can imagine. So she
Yeah.
eventually got hold of Lucy K, and Lucy K responded because she's always the sweet one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people think between the two of us, who's the sweetest?
They think she's the sweet one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am the sweetest, okay? I'm
The
the
one
sweet
with the
one.
red isn't.
And
You see? You see, CJ?
So you guys met up and
Yeah, no,
we
eventually.
invited her to the studio,
Ah,
and then
awesome.
we spent the day with her. And guess what? That day we
She
happened to be
to have
interviewing. Yeah, we happened to
Otea.
have Otea in studio. So she was like starstruck. She met Lucy Squared. She met Otea.
And she was also a fan of Girl Level.
Yeah, so yeah, that's how the Lucy Squared WhatsApp group was created, and then she added almost everybody that was a fan of Lucy Squared.
Yeah.
So we had like a whole onto the group.
Yes.
So they really inspired us to be
Just,
better. Your image is your brand. So I mean, what you portray out there is what people see. So now if you come out looking like
It's Lucy K. It's a brand.
Yeah.
Any other time you can find me without makeup. I mean, I don't rock makeup all the time or even have lashes when you see me in the street. But if Lucy K is on TV, Lucy K's got to look good. Hannah Nangola knows that. Please
Yeah.
be very careful as you disembark on this flight. The captain, Lucy K, and Lucy will be outside to entertain you to some shake it. No. Come on. I'm sweating.
it's like we are really performing, eh?
Just like that, all the way, dance, shake it, break it, groove it. I wanna see you break it down. Come on, break it to the song. Dance, shake it, break it, groove it. Oh,
Oh, and then my mic kept falling.
it all around. I mean, I'll make you feel excited like you've never felt before. It's getting us warm. I'll turn it up and down. I'll make you feel excited till you shout and say, go baby go. Go, 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 go. Go baby go. Go, go. I conspiro tanto. I conspiro samo canga loca wa. I conspiro tanto.
pick with you guys. Hands down, I think they should be on the search or any other competition that you have there. Maybe just as fans. Yeah. But it just shows that in life, we give our all to you. And you don't get to know a lot about us. And on this platform, now you got to see what their life is about. They were on radio, did business, doing a whole lot of things. And right now, you can also catch up still with them because now you know what they do. And they are part of these people. Stick around for more. So she drove this yellow car and later she wrote on it, cute one. She's got the signature, hey, hey, hey. And she's cute. Can you deny that? I don't think you can. And she talks. She spoke and she's still speaking. So now we're gonna have her on. And you don't want to miss this one because there's a big surprise coming for you. Stick around as we talk to this cute one.
At home, I made like a homemade boxy with a spinning deck, and then I had like a cable that I found at some old garage. I connected it to some makeshift headphones. It like with the knobs and the everything.
You made that thing.
I went. Then they were like, okay, next up is Molisa.
Love, you little fly ladybug. Come and swing this episode with muffle up above. With them Earl jeans on, fitting tight like a glove. You little cinnamon toast crunch. Come show me some love. Slim Goody.
Oh man, ever-changing times.
Yeah. This is what I know about you.
Yeah. Gentlemen's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one. You know.
Man.
Yeah.
No, I think
Yeah.
these are moments of reflection in that it takes you back to a point where
Yeah.
you were just in the studio. Like I tell people, radio was the point where I didn't earn a lot of money. I didn't have a lot. But for those 2 or 3 hours, man, I forgot about all that stuff. I couldn't care.
Yeah.
I could just be whoever I wanted to be.
You need to find out who you are before you can actually think about the rest of the other elements, external elements.
In my next life, I'm gonna be a singer, guys.
So I can actually say 18 years ago, about 2 decades ago. So I wanted to do acting, drama. And then I applied for this radio show called Susie and Shafa.
Yeah.
I didn't get the gig, but by God's grace, if one door closes, the next one opens up.
Yeah.
And then at UNAM Radio, I didn't get the gig. So the then studio coordinator said, hey, don't you want a summertime job? And I'm like, okay, cool, let me try it out. And since 2003, I've been, working my way up to commercial radio stations up until, now still freelancing. So it was by mistake, but it was meant to be. I'm running my own media agency, and my interns that I always say, don't expect anybody to make things happen for you. As much as people want to be on radio, sometimes you just have a natural talent. Either you do or you don't. Some people really have to study for it, or some people fall, on this path by mistake. For example, myself.
Yeah.
Either you have a good radio voice or you don't, even as much as you want to do radio. But I think it's about personality nowadays. Not saying that the industry has come down a bit, but I think that it's more about personality because of the social influence and how many listeners that people are after, instead of, I think, the quality of broadcast. So a bit of both. You definitely have to make things happen for yourself. You can't wait for CJ or Bolly or whoever else to get you on radio. You got to fight, you got to be hungry, and make things happen by yourself. You really have to put your passion behind it. I know that years ago, we just had to do a lot of research, even before putting your voice on the radio. We had community radio stations that were just for pilot projects to groom people. Looking at university structures, I'm not too sure if that's really being reiterated as much as it was 18 years back. I can, mention the Robin Tysons. Before we could even read the news, you need to know how to pronounce. You need to articulate. Doesn't matter what kind of English you speak, American, British, you need to know the names and how they're they're pronounced, and you need to really know about what you're speaking about. I think content on radio, it's more loose and more light. If we compare the pay to broadcasting here comparing to South Africa or the States, it's peanuts. And that's why I always say it needs to be the passion. And what does passion mean? Somebody inboxing you or saying, you know what, I really enjoyed your show this Sunday. I was going through a lot in my life, but your motivational quote, for example, really just, changed or sparked my mind. And those are the things when monetary value isn't as much as what you expect it to be, but it's that heartwarming feeling by saying, wow, a James just listened to this show and they can't wait to listen to you next week or whenever you may be on. That is that feel-good moment, and you say, this is why I'm still doing it after 18 years. This is why I still freelance on radio and TV. Even if I'm juggling my work and with my kids, you do it because there's a passion behind it. I'm the founder of Poya Media. I'm doing it for my kids, so P-O for Popieni and Oya for Oya. The reason why we work is to pay bills, to pay for school, to pay for rent. But I try to, when I jump boat, try to do something that I love still. And when I wake up in the morning, I just feel like it's still worth it. And that I'm trying to still merge by making some good money, which is still going to follow. So for 4 years in the making, with the whole experience, I always tell those on radio and TV, you need to make use of the experience and the network that it opens up. It's no use that you sit on the opportunities and you're still doing the same things 18 years ago. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think you should also revolutionize and make use of that opportunity. Go into corporate, after corporate, network yourself, get the same network into your own private business, and that's being smart about it, but still doing radio and television. If you have a passion, if you still want to do it full time, but I think when you grow up and when you get older, you need to really change what you're doing and how you're doing it. So don't sleep on the opportunities that NBC has given. People now know you before you introducing yourself. They already trust your brand before you need to prove it to them. And you can't make it happen for yourself if you just sleep on that opportunity. I always say, if you are able to resonate with somebody that's pumping up gas at a gas station and a CEO in a boardroom, you've really nailed the market of having your brand very consistent, relevant, and relatable to all target markets. But there are a lot of those aha moments. If I pump up gas or if I even go to a shop, it's like, Tutaleni! You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, that's not my name. And now when I introduce my son Popieni, he's like, oh, do Popieni!
Remember, what was it, Ilke? Was it Wizeni?
Yes, Wizeni with flame.
Yeah. Imagine.
Oh gosh, we've been around the block. Don't remind me.
And you're someone who loves. What about songs like these ones?
Ooh, Babyface! Hey! Oh, you got it! Wait.
You remember this one?
I know. Do not think about it.
Hey.
This kind of music, they don't make it like this anymore. They don't, really.
Now, talking about this kind of music,
you got me in my element.
So, you also did music.
Oh gosh.
Music. I don't know where you are. That's.
I'll give you tonight. Oh gosh. No, now I'm about to tear up. Years back when I started out, I met the belated Benny Kamati BK. And he's a legend, being very instrumental with, who people are today because he inspired so many. And, when he approached me to do music back then at UNAM with Stalin, RV, Baby, when you're young, you want to do it all. Even if somebody says you can't, you do it just because you want to. I think today with social media and so much pressures, people are held back because of the negative comments or the feedback on, will I succeed at doing it or not? I'm glad that when I started 18 years ago, there wasn't social media, and whatever I could do, I could still do it without a lot of backlash. I think upcoming radio presenters, television presenters, artists, they get a lot of scrutiny, which is good, but you need to filter positive criticism and the negative ones. And there is a huge difference between that.
Kira, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For that. I appreciate everything you shared. Is there any parting words from your side?
Wow, I would like another old school if you, sign us out. But apart from that, NBC, thank you so much for always just, being there for the next best thing. It's important to make use of all the opportunities that NBC has created for the TV and the radio and the media experts, and keep on shining. You know, there's no better companion. CJ, keep up the good work, and everybody else, hey! You can count on me for sure. That's what friends are for. CJ, thank you. It's Corona time, but anyway, thank you.
Man, it was really great having Cutie right here with us. And now you know more about her behind the scenes, her inspiration, what she did, what she's doing, and still the warmth she has in her heart. It's really good to be in the company of her. It was fun. I had so much fun. But the show continues. We'll be back right after this.
I made like a homemade boxy with a spinning deck, and then I had like a cable that I found at some old garage. I connected it to some makeshift headphones. It like with the knobs and the everything.
You made that thing.
I went. Then they were like, okay, next up is Molisa.
Love, you little fly ladybug. Come and swing this episode with Muffle up above. With them Earl jeans on, fitting tight like a glove. You little cinnamon toast crunch. Come show me some love. Slim Goody.
Oh man, ever-changing times.
Yeah.
Man.
This is what I know about you.
Yeah. Gentleman's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one. You know,
Man.
yeah,
No, I think
yeah,
these are moments of reflection in that it takes you back to a point where
yeah.
you were just in the studio. Like I tell people, radio was the point where I didn't earn a lot of money. I didn't have a lot. But for those 2 or 3 hours, man, I forgot about all that stuff. I couldn't care.
Yeah.
I could just be whoever I wanted to be.
You need to find out who you are before you can actually think about the rest of the other elements, external elements.
In my next life, I'm gonna be a singer, guys.
Well, someone once asked a hetero guy, do you eat seafood? And they said, we take the cow to the ocean, we put in the ocean, and then we take out, we slaughter him and we eat. That is seafood. We got Mr. Seafood right now. He'll be talking to you. This guy's popular, man. He's very popular on social media. And he, believe me, he allegedly passed on this year. There were rumors going on that he's gone. And I guess the brother woke up and people were calling him. He's like, oh, Khanan. So you'll hear more about that as well. I'm talking about the very popular Mr. M.
It's a whole thing of like, you know, you get transformed from season to season, from action to action, for whatever you're doing in the business.
Yes, to the B. You are a legend in the game, man. You know, let's start by looking at, just for curiosity, if you can take off the cuff, for how many years do you think you were in the game?
I'm talking about 1997. I can remember when I started radio, it's 1997. I was in grade 9 at Korea Hub.
Yeah.
With NBC, I've been from 2004.
Yeah.
Hey, it's almost half of my life. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And in fact, it's one of my first jobs, the professional one that I've ever done. It's been radio.
Max, what inspired you to be in radio?
I was inspired by a lot of things. First of all, my grandmother, she used to love to listen to radio, Omashivithiro, those public announcements and the news. She always have to send me so I can switch on the radio. And they had their times, because the battery might get flat.
So put it off.
The news, you switch it on. Public announcements, death rows. Switch it off after that. Then they are done. So which means I used to do the back and forth and the back and forth. And then after that, I had to steal the radio for a while, take it home, somewhere in my room, and then go listen to what I want to listen to, and then bring it back before the clock of the news or either the public announcement. So it inspired me. And then after that, when it came to the city, I had to listen to radio because by that time I remember National Radio was one of the biggest radio stations. I'm not trying to praise it because I work here, but it was the in thing, one of the people that I actually can remember that inspired me also that I can do this was John Keddy. Because you could move him from back and forth, take him to current affair, move him there. He can get old and get younger. And I've learned a lot of things. And then during my time, it was salary request. These guys got cell phones now. No, we have to go to Sawato Market, with Peri Hockey. Yeah, and then you also don't have money. So there was a trick that we
a way that you get the money.
So you have to press, certain way on how to press the number in order for it to ring. Imagine.
And there was also a way that now we're saying things that you get the money out somehow.
There was a way also.
What about, remember the flexi cards, man?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's
it's a process. So which means with me, it is because I could be able to say, I can connect with this. I can connect with this. And
awesome, man.
I also remember. During my time when I wanted to get after KCR, I remember I was with KCR from 1997 until 1999, and then from there the radio station went on strike, and then it got shut down because it was a community radio station. But I've learned a lot of things from there because that's where this brand started.
How different? I mean, you are still very relevant today, and you are still active. Comparing to back then and right now, in terms of radio, everything concerning production, whatever, how can you compare yesteryear and now?
We were doing radio for the love of radio. But today people do it differently because the reason, and I want to make it very clear so that people can also understand. You were going to radio because you want to come do that show, and then you know exactly that somebody have made a mark at exactly what time this is what's going to happen. So they walk with you. But the difference with today, people, we take radio as just like a normal 85 job for me to make my salary and then pay bills and whatever it is. Back in the days, it wasn't like that. It's all about you getting to the business, and then it's all about you making sure that when you get out of the studio, somebody outside there is happy. Whether somebody wanted to commit suicide, whether you were sad, whether you're not happy, because that's what we do for a living, because we change people's lives, because the next day that is at home with my kids, and then I get more serious. When I come at home, hey, machi, no, eat your food, do what? I'm a more serious guy. But then when I come to radio, I'm so more hyper, more different, because it's a character that I play, and it changes people's life. And but then unfortunately, the people of today, they instead of doing a radio, they come with the attitude of like, and I'm going to say it very straightforward, and I want to be honest because they have to learn these things, and that's why I'm more flexible, I'm more vibrant for so many years. It's because I know exactly what I'm talking about. They put fame and fortune first, and then they want to get into the business. It's not going to work for you. That's why, because you would want to become me. If you want to become me, you're not going to make it because there's already me.
Ever had an encounter with someone that came to you and said, yo, Max, what you did the other day, it touched me how, or it made me happy? Have you had any kind of encounters like that you can recall and share with us?
I get it very daily, especially with my shows, because today's life, because it's not about only on radio itself, like it's in audio, because we've got now social platforms. I always screen my shows live on Facebook, and people follow, and then they get right. I remember there's a lady. They wanted to have a job, and she called me. I want to make an announcement I'm looking for a job. I said, what type of a job are you looking for? And she said, no, I'm suffering, I've got 3 kids, and I want to have a job at least, maybe to watch laundry, or maybe somewhere at your house, and then whatever it is. But then why do you need that? You don't need to do that. So I gave her an advice, and I made it very straightforward for her, and I told her very straightforward that I want you to look for things that you can use that's gonna make you money. And I asked him, I said, okay, how many bachelor people are staying in your street? Boys. And she calculated and said, no, maybe 10, 15. Okay, and the street back door, maybe 12, 10. Okay. What you need is a washing machine. Because you have electricity at home, you have water at home. What you need is a washing machine, and then you just take their baskets. Today, as we speak, she's having 2 washing machines. She's running a proper laundry. I changed her life. And she always comes to me and she says, Maxie, how can I repay you? I say, no, you don't need to repay me. At least I'm going to be a head person that I've changed your life. You don't need to walk around them. No more, you know, best and claim municipality is the best. You must go to town because you have to go work at somebody from 8 until 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now you're working on the
you can
clock.
do
As a
your
matter
own
of fact, she also recruited, I think, another 2 ladies, if I can remember very well, that are doing the ironing now.
Awesome,
so which
man.
means, I bring my basket, they wash it, they iron it, 5 o'clock, I come and collect my basket, I go hem them in my house.
Life
For
goes
me,
on.
then, it makes
Awesome,
me
man.
happy daily. And I say, no, but what is it that I can do for you? She's like, no, do you want to do something big for me? And I told her, buy me headphones.
Yeah. And you got your
All right?
headphones.
Yeah, no, I have them. And
Yeah,
I said, no,
awesome,
headphones,
man.
yeah, which ones? No, go buy me Sony. She bought very expensive Sony black headphones. And I said, no, why is this all you need? She said, no, because for me, I'll get to hear you and I'll get to listen to your story and listen to other people's stories.
Awesome, man.
That's why. And for me, I'm so happy.
So I just knew Max as this guy who speaks on radio. I mean, you are that guy that you speak Oshihero, and I would not understand, but I would listen because of the style and how you do it, and I would learn a word like peke and okuhepa and such, you know. But you were featured on a song, my brother, with Jericho and Tunaki, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. How did that happen, man? Very quickly, bro.
I think the whole entertainment business, it's all about a chain. You know, you need to understand a lot of things, and then it's a very personal song, and that's why it even won. That's why it's even if you have to play it today, it sounds like it's a fresh song. We managed to connect different languages in one song and keeping the culture also in the same. Even if it's the video, you know, we're trying to keep the culture also alive. I've been in the music for a very long time. I wrote songs for my Tonga family.
You've been managing at some point in time.
I've been managing. Also, at the moment, I'm working with Sunny Boy as one of my artists that I'm also working with personally, and we're doing a lot of things. We're about to do a lot of things also together, projects and all those things. And in fact, it's also having songs about gender-based violence, which is something that we are tackling at the moment. So music has been part of the whole package, you know, because I work with music every day.
Yeah.
You know, so jamming on a song, it seems that you just come on a song and then
that was a nice one, man.
When you get on stage, they go so crazy. You know, you come, and it's like about 9 seconds or 10 seconds on a song.
That you're on the song.
But it sounds like I'm singing
the whole song.
10 minutes.
Maxine, man, I thank you so much. There's something else that you're gonna do for us. Tell us about this one, man.
First of all, it was about the questions. There's something else.
Yeah, there's something else.
Okay, so for the next few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be ILke. Look at that. Cause tonight, I think I can become the next girl. In the meantime.
So, brace yourself and listen. I hear you calling. Here I come, baby, to save you. Oh, baby, no more stalling. These hands have been longing to touch you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And now that you've come around to seeing it my way, you won't regret it, babe, and you surely won't forget it, babe. It's unbelievable how your body's calling for me. I can just hear it calling, calling, calling me. Calling, baby, for you. I can hear it calling, baby. Calling for you. Your body's calling me. Calling, oh, oh, my body's calling. I'm listening, baby. I hear you calling me. I'm listening, baby. I hear you calling me. I'm listening, baby. I hear you calling me. Hear your body calling me.
Your body is calling. Your body is calling.
Your body is calling.
You killed me, man.
What's up, man? Well, in fact, you knew what they were all about, but now you know even just a little more. And believe me when I say this guy eats seafood, and the other one is still cute, and the other two are still balling. Well, now we have an idea of who they are, where it started, what inspired them, and those heartwarming moments that they've had. But you know what? We asked some questions. We want to have a trick or true kind of situation with you right now, whereby I want to ask you 3 questions.
I don't like secrets.
So it's a trick or true situation.
Okay.
Oh, trick. True or trick?
Yeah. Trick or true?
Okay, let's go.
The trick.
Oh man, ever-changing time. Yeah.
This is what I know about you.
Yeah. Gentleman's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one. You know,
Man.
yeah,
No, I think
yeah,
these are moments of reflection in that it takes you back to a point where
yeah.
you were just in the studio. Like I tell people, radio was the point where I didn't earn a lot of money. I didn't have a lot. But for those 2 or 3 hours, man, I forgot about all that stuff. I couldn't care.
Yeah.
I could just be whoever I wanted to be.
Trick or true? Assuming and insinuating are the same thing, only in English.
Assuming
and insinuating.
Insinuating. Okay, so I assume
are the same thing, only in English. Trick or true?
Trick.
Trick.
Yeah.
All right. She says trick.
The trick.
Trick.
Trick or true? SADC is a landlocked country in Namibia.
Trick.
Trick. Definitely trick.
Trick. How many countries are there in SADC? Did somebody say true for that one?
We'll find out.
SADC is the only landlocked. Nah, that's not true. That ain't true.
And for this one, you need your DJ headsets, eh? I wish you had them here. DJ originally derives from the word disc jobs. Trick or true?
No. Jockey! Disc jockey! Disc jockey! Am I right? I'm right. I'm right. I'm right. I got it.
Right or wrong.
It does.
It does.
Yeah. Because can I explain?
The trick.
Sure.
Actually, DJ
derives from?
Man, we got to see who they are actually behind the persona that we know. But nonetheless, besides just having fun, we heard their stories, we tricked and trued them a little bit. Hey, I trust you had fun on that one as well. But most importantly, we saw them sing. And I'm telling you, as you could see, their reactions from that, we do salute all artists, man. You guys do good. And they also equally did good. Well, that's what I think. How would you rate them?
You need to find out who you are before you can actually think about the rest of the other elements, external elements.
In my next life, I'm gonna be a singer, guys.
It's deep, it's dark, it aches the heart, it pains. People bury loved ones. It's not good. So we wanted to know.
GBV doesn't have discrimination towards who you are, what class, how you may look, which suburb you may come from. It's something that's very serious and I think many times unspoken, especially if you know that someone. GBV is also a stigma, I think, because I think once you come out with your story, there's like a stigma attached to it. For those that are watching, you know, at the moment, your truth is your truth. You don't know anybody else an explanation but yourself, and to make a very wise decision.
These things happen every day in our neighborhoods, you know. A kid getting beaten up by a mother, wife also beating up the father left, right, and center because the guy doesn't bring any ends meet at home. Men making sure that they beat up their wives while he's having 3 girlfriends, you know, stuff like this. It has been happening to me. It's a very serious thing.
Well, unfortunately, ladies are always, what's the right word to use? They're always in circumstances, or they're always bound to have bad circumstances when it comes to that, or maybe because that's how it's portrayed. But I think the narrative has to change.
Males get harassed, assaulted by their women, but they're too scared to speak about it. In this day and age of divorce as well, I think there are many stories that I heard that women also take advantage of men because they have primary custody over the kids. So let's not always, discriminate against the men, but also vice versa, and it should be balanced. And let's have the conversation, not only just preaching at the women, and I always say this, let's have more men conferences, because we need to fix the boy child.
Gender-based violence things is happening deep in the hood.
Yeah.
But you have a workshop in Country Club, Hilton. Who's going to hear the story? Who's going to tell the story? What is it that is bringing me to that? Because there's something that is bringing me to come to that extent.
A house that is, for example, faced with a lot of violence, the father is beating the mother. What do you honestly think will happen to this child when he grows up? Good. So we should really, I would really, really encourage fathers to take care of their kids and make sure that the kids are brought up the right way.
It's important that when you make up your mind, you stick to it. There's so many times through one-on-one engagements, through women, when I came out with my story, say, I want to leave, I'm planning to, but then it's a back and a forth, back and a forth, back and a forth. Or they make a decision, but because of the sake of the kids, they keep on going back. So I'm saying, because of the sake of the kids, make the right decision.
It's either we have to do it the back and forth, either way, for us to understand what is basically going on. Let the people deal with those people that are going through the same thing, even if it's poverty. Go to the poverty people and understand, instead of giving you a plate today, why can I tell you, in order for you to have this plate, you need to plant this in order for you to get this.
If we allow a boy child to know that, it's okay as a man you can cry. It's okay as a man not to provide. It's fine. You don't need to put all that on you. But you know, the pressure comes with men being, with societal pressure to say that you are a man. You must be able to do that. You are a man. You cannot cry. You are a man. You should allow yourself. You shouldn't allow emotions to get to you. And I think that's a narrative that has to change, because I think in many instances comes from that.
Really, it's very, very, very important that we look at the upbringing of our kids. Fathers should play their roles as fathers to take care of their kids, because that is one of the most contributing factors to gender-based violence.
It is these people. These people, we thank them so much. We thank them really so much. Remember, follow us on our handles, and also remember on YouTube, SS6 Music. Check us out right there. All our episodes will be right there. If you're curious about the next episode, this is what's coming up. We'll be talking to these people.
At home, I made like a homemade boxy with a spinning deck, and then I had like a cable that I found at some old garage. I connected it to some makeshift headphones. It like with the knobs and the everything.
You made that thing.
I went. Then they were like, okay, next up is Molisa.
Love, you little fly ladybug. Come and swing this episode with more from up above. With them Earl jeans on, fitting tight like a glove. You little cinnamon toast crunch. Come show me some love. Slim Goody.
Oh man, ever-changing times.
Yeah. This is what I know about you.
Yeah. Gentleman's Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one. You know,
man.
Yeah.
No, I think
yeah.
These are moments of reflection in that it takes you back to a point where you were just in the studio. Like I tell people, radio was the point where I didn't earn a lot of money. I didn't have a lot. But for those 2 or 3 hours, man, I forgot about all that stuff. I couldn't care.
Yeah.
I could just be whoever I wanted to be.
You need to find out who you are before you can actually think about the rest of the other elements, external elements.
In my next life, I'm gonna be a singer, guys.
And with that said, goodbye and good luck.
Everywhere you turn it. Everywhere you turn it. You know you find it. Everywhere you turn it. Everywhere you turn it. You know you find it. Everywhere you turn it.